The focus of this lesson is to introduce you to adjustment layers. Make sure that you have the content aware spot.psd open in your Photoshop. It's the one that we used, same image we used for the previous lesson, where we went over practicing using the spot healing brush tool. So adjustment layers are located in your layers panel at the very bottom. It's this little circle. Some people call it a black and white cookie is a good way to remember it. Remember, if you hover over the icon with your mouse, it's going to tell you what the icon is. So for example, when I hover over it, it says create new fill or adjustment layer. If you click on this icon, you'll notice there's lots of options underneath it of adjustment layers. You've got solid color, gradient, pattern, brightness, contrast, levels, curves. And adjustment layers are really powerful, but today I just want to introduce you to a couple and let you test out how to use them so you're prepared for the homework assignment. And when we do step 2 of how to use adjustment layers. So the strength of adjustment layers is they apply filters to your image that are not permanent. So they're non-destructive is how the terminology that they use in Photoshop. So you're not destroying the original image, you're just kind of applying things on top of it. So for example, let's practice this. I want you to go ahead, and the first one I want you to play with is called levels. So go ahead and select levels. Anytime you apply an adjustment layer, a properties box is going to appear or pop up that gives you control over that exact adjustment layer. So levels controls the shadows, which is this little slider on the far left. If you slide it, you'll see it adjusts the shadows of your image. The midtones, if you drag it, you'll see how it adjusts kind of the overall tones of an image, or the highlights. So go ahead and drag those sliders. I personally like to start with highlights, and if there's any blank space on this, what we call a histogram, I just drag the slider to where this kind of mountain begins. And then I'll visually adjust the midtones to try to give the image a little more brightness, and then maybe bring a little bit more shadow in. So here's my properties box, and here's my levels. Notice once you go back to your layers panel, if you hide and reveal this adjustment layer, you'll notice it shows you your original image. So you can see the little bit of contrast and shadows and midtones that have been applied to the background or main layer of this image. Let's apply one more adjustment layer. So in your layers panel, go down, find your adjustment layer black and white cookie icon, and let's go ahead and apply a photo filter. So photo filters are really fun, give you a lot of different options. Again, with the photo filter adjustment layer, a property dialog box will appear, and you'll see this drop-down menu gives you a lot of predetermined options that you can apply to an image. Go ahead and choose a sepia tone, which is kind of a brown, old school feeling filter. You can adjust the density, so you can make it really, really, really heavy sepia tone. Again, go back to your layers panel. You see you have your photo filter adjustment layer. If I click on my layer visibility eye icon, I can hide that. So one thing to keep in mind is all of these adjustment layers, the photo filter and the levels, are being applied to whatever layers are directly beneath it. So right now there's only one layer directly beneath it that's getting these effects, and that's the background layer. So go ahead and practice those, and know that you're going to be practicing these for your assignment this week that you're going to be turning in.